Shalom everyone, this is Ty Green. Just a notification here. Here to see when is the 9th of Av, and an opportunity to review what we've learned on how to verify this for ourselves. This year, it's off by a couple of days. This is of importance because if you're off for the beginning of the year, you'll be off track for the 9th of Av or anything else. I would not be dogmatic about this if we didn't have biblical proof that tells us when Yom Teruah, the Feast of Trumpets, is every year. It also serves as a cross-check to confirm the beginning of the year. Thus, the 9th of Av can be verified with confidence. So let's get into this. PepCal, the Hebrew calendar site, has this information for the end of the month of.
You see, what have I been telling you? Watch those sevens, man, because I was born on the 7th. I just showed you my ID. I already showed you in the time travel video how one day it's like a 1,000 years with God, but it's also like 1 year with God, but it's also like multiple different exponentials with God, because of the speeding up of time. And that's actually one of the powers I created today. I basically just made a power around that day, like on the 29th. It's pretty interesting because I created a power on the 29th. We should. That's the way I usually do it. And I'm confident that it's going to happen because, you know, that's just how powerful it is. It ended up being the beginning and the end at the same time. I remember I was told in a dream or something that the world would end on a Sunday. Didn't realize my birthday was going to be a Sunday. It was going to be the 9th of Av. It was going to be the 9th week after Pentecost. And then I already told y'all how my grandma had just passed away on July 4th. And, you know, all this stuff happened as a chain reaction. Mostly inspired trying to get back at Satan and all that kind of stuff. Like the Georgia guidestones and all this other stuff. Like, there's a lot of stuff like Sri Lanka. I mean, a lot of stuff that happened. Like, more y'all wouldn't even know. You have to just kind of go through there. And those comet solar flares. Like, SpaceX got blasted. Like, there's all these comets and stuff I'm going to show you. Like, it was literally a comet today. A comet that do it right in the sun on my birthday. Before I even created the power. Like, I created this power a little before 5 o'clock, obviously. You can see from this comet right here. And, yeah, there's been a lot going on. I've been explaining that already. But yeah, it's like just coming back to me like usual. The 28th, though, like I told you, yeah, I watch the sevens, man. Like, every 7 days. See, so what's that? 7 plus 7 plus 7 plus 7? That's 4 sevens, forever 4, you know? You know, he's right. He's going to show you how the heavens show the story of God. I already have a whole playlist of videos called The Story of God. Not really a playlist, but a list of videos that, it's basically like a playlist. You can just go through my page and you'll find it. It's not really hard to find. And it's just a story in the constellations that just tell the story of God. And it's got like, there's echoes, there's like holy days and all this kind of stuff. And that's what's going on with that. And this got to do with the Manchild's birth on that day. And I didn't even know this. I'm just learning this from looking at this guy's video. I didn't know the sign of the birthing of the Manchild happens every single year now. Like, if that is not a Mandela effect, I don't know what is. I mean, maybe it's been happening, but This is the first time I ever heard of anybody explaining this. So I'm pretty sure this is just God's way of getting me to learn, you know. But I'm changing shit so drastically, dude. Like today was literally just set up to speed up time. And I think that's why this effect where it was like a day it's really just a day off. He's a little mistaken because he's going by, is it over Israel? No, it's about where I'm located at and where the real Hebrews are located at, which is America at this current point. You know, these other guys, they play their part too, you know, they're going to have some factors with them as well. Maybe some of them are really, you know, the real Israelites or whatever, but like I've heard people say they're the tribe of Dan or whatever, but we all know who it's really about at the end of the day. It's a guy that's rebuking, you know, Sodom and Egypt and all that for the evil creations and stuff that are ruining the world right now. That's right when I created. That's really right when I created that power, and I didn't even know what day that this is specific day. I even did it the day after, on the 29th, like not on the 28th specific.
Dash, head of the month, began on Thursday, July 28th of this year, and ended on Friday, July 29th of this year. We see the same for the ultra-Orthodox Jewish site at Shabbat, Rosh Chodesh, head of the month on Friday, July 29th. So now, let's look at our biblical cross-check within Revelation chapter 12 and Leviticus chapter 23 and see if their dates are correct for the Rosh Chodesh of the month of Av and then the night. The cross-check is Yom Teruah. This will either confirm that the calendar is on track or their calendar is off this year. The perpetual Hillel 2 calendar that they're using is an autopilot ever since the Sanhedrin was disbanded just before the destruction of the Second Temple and the city of Jerusalem in 70 AD. So this year, Yom Teruah, the Feast of Trumpets, which is also Rosh Hashanah, is celebrated on September 26th and 27th. Verifying this can confirm whether the 9th of Av is correct. Now, here's where we get to the good part. What's our biblical and visual confirmation of Yom Teruah? Leviticus chapter 23, verse 24 says that the Feast of Trumpets is on the first day of the 7th month. Speak unto the children.
Oh, geez, it would be the first day of the 7th month. I keep telling y'all, man. That's why there's 7 spirits of God. There's when he's the Alpha and Omega. That's why the menorah has the 7 candlesticks. There's one above, one below. The 2 candlesticks, the 2 great candlesticks that stand before the world, the God of the whole earth. Like, I'm explaining this to 2 witnesses, man. Like, that's why I do. That's why I do, man. Witnesses in Sodom and Egypt. Right here, right next to DC, as you can see from my ID. Like, that's what I do, man. And, that's why it's important.
Children of Israel saying, in the 7th month, in the first day of the month, you shall have a Sabbath, a memorial of blowing of trumpets, and holy convocation. And what does that visual confirmation look like? Read Revelation 12, verse 1, and look up. This portion of the verse is a reference to the Feast of Trumpets. It describes the location of the sun and the moon relative to the constellation of the woman. A woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet. It's a spot-on visual verification every year of Yom Teruah. And yes, it's a big clue to understanding the first few verses of Revelation chapter 12. Specifically, that God would warn the world on a Feast of Trumpets that Israel will soon head into their 70th week, and the rest of the world will see a global collapse.
Did you see this, bro? 70 years, another 7? Like, come on, man. And it happens like it happens every year.
Visual verification, clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet. It's a spot-on visual verification every year of Yom Teruah.
That's when it happens, every year.
It includes understanding the first few verses of Revelation chapter 12. Specifically, that God would warn the world on a Feast of Trumpets that Israel will soon head into their 70th week, and the rest of the world will see a global collapse and a new world government rise.
You know, that's what Sodom and Egypt is all about, man. That's what I've been witnessing against.
And we know that the whole warning played out in the heavens, just like the Lord said. We know that this connects us to Genesis chapter 1, verse 14, where we've learned that the position of the sun, moon, and stars also confirm the Moed, the appointed times of the Lord, the feast days. The Old Testament foreshadowing the New Testament, and the New Testament confirms the Old Testament. Let's go to Genesis chapter 1, verse 14. And God said, "Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years." That word seasons is the Hebrew word moed. This is Strong's Concordance H4150. And here's a very important note. In regards to the position of the moon relative to the moed, the appointed times, are not set by the new moon. The new moon identifies the head of the month, the Rosh Chodesh. This is when the new month begins.
Now you know. Now you see why he calls me the head, bro. Like Jesus is the head of the church, and well, I don't want to call it the church, because it means master, but it's really the congregation, you know, the people. But who's his head? You see, this is literally like the beginning and the end of this whole little thing. On August 7th, it's the 9th of Av, and then this is the beginning of the month. You see, like I did that without even knowing I was doing it, bro. Like I literally changed time around because the moon, you know, it could have been like another day because of the moon, you know, the new moon factor. It literally landed on these days that I predicted, like, and that's why I've been telling y'all. That's why the UFO is watching me do my training. It's because I was creating the power in that video, and you know, I didn't expect to show it to anybody, and but the UFO's in the background, so that's why I decided to share it. And I started learning all this stuff. It's just related to the power, man. It really is. And this is exactly why on May 15th is blood moon, on the day I created the power. And what was it? I was telling y'all what the moon was. It's like a parallel Earth, just like the sun is. But the sun has to do with the beginning. And that's where everything's like coming out from, and that's why they eclipse each other. And that's why time is based around the Earth, the moon, and the sun more than anything. The monthly with the sun, and then Earth is just time in general. And then you know, how it plays out and all that. And the sun is really just like the beginning, man. Like, you'd have to see that video where I showed like the beginning of time and all that stuff. It was pretty cool. It was actually in 2007. You wouldn't even believe it. You know, let me just, yeah, I ain't gonna believe me. No, okay. Let's do it like this. Okay, here we go. I watched the time when this thing comes by. It's 2007. All I do is get hate for this, man. That's crazy. Well, something else. The scripture said they'd hate the two witnesses, though, so it doesn't really surprise me. 2007, the first month, first day. Whoa. Oh, you ain't see shit. Whoa. And then it spins the whole thing. It usually goes left to right. That thing got the whole thing spinning like up to down, looking like the Milky Way itself. And then that's Earth coming in. That's Earth right there. In the beginning was the light. And that's what you're seeing is that big giant comet that started everything up. And you see right there? And then it spins the whole thing. It doesn't normally spin like that though. And then Earth comes in. It's normally going left to right. This thing spins it like completely different. And then it starts, after the light appears, you can see the comet again, or it might be another comet. And then you can see now it's spinning the other way and all the planets together, right? But it's already starting to pull them. You see how they're all together right here? Literally, Earth's the reason we have wandering planets. They can probably relate it to certain powers of God and all that kind of stuff. That's why you can tell the future by them, because that's how they're created. That's why when certain powerful people like Jesus appear, like you see like comet, like and all kinds of stuff changing in the heavens, and it tells you what's going to happen if you're sharp. Like that's why they were trying to kill off Jesus, because the sign was, you know, he was going to be badass or whatever. It's the same comet that came when I was born. You can see my birth certificate. I was born in '85. The Halley's Comet came all around there, all around when I was born. In the beginning, when I was conceptualized, is when it popped up. Like, God couldn't make it more obvious for people just be hating me. Like, people really hate the two witnesses, bro. They really do. It's a shame. It shouldn't be like that, but you know, people really do. That's why I get. Oh yeah, it's another planet that I showed. That, like, when I get 2 thumbs down for this, look, that goes warps right through it. Goes 17 hours like into the future in a single fucking frame, and changes time itself when it does. I'm thinking about making a power around this, but I think it would be too strong for this world, personally. Like, I was thinking about it, but instead I just did some, like, my more easy, my more lower level time travel that I did on the 29th. I actually made time speed up, because it was related to the beginning of the month, because it knew I was going to literally do that. But I mean, it's got a lot to do with like a million different things. I was thinking about it though, as far as like, you know, using this beginning power, and this is the great attractor and stuff. But I was like, nah, let me go easy on this shit, like, 'cause I figured it would be too much. Like, watch how right when the Earth pops up, it creates these gravity waves and it starts to pull, and then now they're starting to go left to right instead, because that's how OP Earth is, man. Earth's really that broken. Like, Earth is the sun. The sun is its beginning when it was looking like that, and then the moon has to do with like some other form of it. Probably this thing over here. Let me show you. Where's that thing at? That thing over there. I think it's like related to that. I think it's like one of those echo type things. Like, watch, when the Earth appears, now this thing starts appearing. Watch, it comes on with Earth. It's like an echo of Earth. You see that big old thing over there? That could be the way Earth looks for all. This is like mirroring it, you know, like, there's some crazy shit going on, bro. Like, I just wish people would stop hating and just learn a few things. This would be a lot more smooth, because there's nothing that you can do to stop me now. I'm too powerful.
Then those day counts that we see in Leviticus 23 begin toward the feast day. There is only one feast day that happens on the head of the month, the Rosh Chodesh. There is only one feast day that the new moon sliver plays a role in identifying.
Oh, really?
Feast day.
Okay, I'll just do it this way.
Month begins.
Wow,
1150.
How the hell did it hit that?
A very important note.
I hate
In
this
regards to the position of the moon relative to the Moed,
That's
Moed, the appointed times are not set by the new moon. The new moon identifies the head of the month, the Rosh Chodesh. This is when the new month begins. Then those day counts that we see in Leviticus 23 begin toward the feast day. There is only one feast day that happens on the head of the month, the Rosh Chodesh. There is only one feast day that the new moon sliver plays.
You see the menorah? See? You already know what it's about. It's 7 all over again. It's 7 days. The perfect day between whom the light that never fails was. That all those other days branch off from. And they cycle. It's looking for that one above to complete the cycle. So, trying to tell you, and that was just me. That's what Jesus is talking about. He's like, give me the glory we had before the world was. And that's why they're the two witnesses. That's why their witness is true. Jesus goes, wherever I go, man. It's just like I was with him. You know, he's my spirit, man. And it really is God, you know, and what we're doing is going back towards the power we had before the world was. That's what this hastening is about.
It's a role in identifying that feast day is none other than Yom Teruah, the Feast of Trumpets, Rosh Hashanah. So, those lights in the firmament are like a big clock above our heads, a big calendar. Their position relays what time of the year it is. The time of year indicates the season. Those seasons correspond to the feasts of the Lord.
It also tells you what time you are in history. Like, you really need to go to my page and check out those videos called The Story of God, The Sting of Scorpion by Jonathan Gray. Like, it's every constellation is telling a different story. Like, for example, when that comet came by, that's why it spun like that, and it's just still hastening and stuff. Like, basically what you got to do every month, that's the reason it's broken into months. It's like going into another world every month. It really is. It's like going in a whole nother world every month. And then it gets filled up by the light over and over again. And it complexifies every month. Like, it's extremely deep.
The appointed times of the Lord. And within those feasts, there are harvests. Now, let's look at astronomy and see where the sun and moon are relative to the constellation of the woman on September 26th and 27th, and then backtrack to the month of Av. All right, we can see that on September 26th and 27th that the sun and moon is indeed in the constellation of the woman.
Just call it Virgo. And it's so funny because my dad's a Virgo, and he basically triggered this shit. I ain't gonna lie, he kind of like some of this stuff at least. Like he kind of annoyed the hell out of me. That's all I'm gonna say. It motivated me. But let's see. It was just like that with this other power up I got. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, the other thing I wanted to bring up was Venus right there. You see Venus? What did it say about the he who has the bright morning star? You know, Venus is like a mirror of Earth as well. That's the other main factor. Venus was literally what they called Earth at first. Like, I need to make a video showing you all that. I had to, you know, go on that and all this shit, stuff like when it was first showing up, they had glitched it so bad that it was calling Earth Venus. And I don't think it was glitching. It was just seeing what was really going on. That camera sees things different. Something about being in the behind location compared to the ahead location with these two cameras. And that's why they sent James Webb behind Earth. Because basically, it's probably just camera B. Like, camera B is seeing shit that we shouldn't even be seeing. I know that's what they're doing.
This is a view from the location of Jerusalem in Israel.
And what was that? No.
Is indeed in the constellation of the woman. This is a view from the location.
You see? Who's under the feet of Virgo? Boots the constellation. That's literally, that's literally the character God was showing me who I was, bro. Like, that's right where the moon ends up, because it's related to other, you know, all different parts of me and all this type of stuff. Like, That's why I use that character with the sharp sickle. That's just like Goku Black right here. You see how on the top right corner I'm using Goku Black? When I saw him, that was like them talking about boosted constellation, but you really got to do with the dark side of character that I've been using a lot in my. That was like my avatar for a long ass time because that's where it started from. It was literally with that character. Like God showed me that character was related to me, and he had to beat the locust of the bottomless pit. It's just parasites and stuff. It's really not that hard.
Of Jerusalem in Israel. The moon.
The hardest part about him was dealing with the sky phenomena, like the Skynet orbs and all that kind of stuff, and the self-proliferating locust of the bottomless pit factor. But at the end of the day, they're really just parasites. It's really all they are.
Is not yet in the correct location under her feet. This is a reference to the head of the month, for the month of Tishri, which is the 7th month on the Jewish calendar. And on the first day of that month, the new moon is sighted in the constellation of Libra, under the feet of the woman. So here on the 26th and 27th of September,
I just realized Aquarius is the 11th month. It's the 7-11. You gotta love it, man.
we see that the moon is still in Virgo. It's not until the evening of September 28th into September 29th that the position of the new moon would be correct. Then you would have the woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet. Thus, Yom Teruah, Rosh Hashanah, the Feast of Trumpets. Remember Leviticus chapter 23, verse 24?
Oh, hell no. They even got pan stars right there, bro. I kept telling y'all pan stars when they came back in 2013. Like right around Comet I sent, it was literally a duplicate of that exact same comet. Watch this shit. Yeah, it's so crazy. It was just a smaller, less powerful echo. And it came, what, 6 or 7 years later, like usual? Watch. This shit. There it is. See, it looks exactly like it. And I showed y'all how it aligned over Earth and all that stuff. Look at this shit. I'm too good at this, bro. Because it's really about Earth. Watch how Earth brightens it and holds it still. Sit still, bitch. And then it brightens. But until it's the same damn comet, man. You can't really see it on this camera. This is the regular camera. You want to see it on the other one, then you can see how it had the same stripes and all that. It's just aligning up with its beginning, which is Earth. You see how everything's going left to right now? It's normal. It's normal. Like, but the first time it came, it was so drastic. I really wish I would just pay attention to stuff. Then I wouldn't have to keep repeating myself so much. But you know, sometimes, you know, I mean, if you're not thinking about this all day, like, I mean, I don't have to think about it all day, but it's just, if this isn't your life, you know, like, you know, you're not going to remember some of this stuff. So
the first day of the 7th month is the Feast of Trumpets, Rosh Hashanah. On the 7th month and the first day, the sun on the first
look at that.
day
Pan stars
the
there
7th
too.
month is the Feast of Trumpets.
Pan stars. Look at that.
The Feast of Trumpets.
2017 as well. Like, oh my gosh. That's not even the right pan stars, but it's got the numbers in it. It's like I guess wherever this is coming from, I think that's why they call it pan stars. Because every pan star, I'm not sure about this one, but I didn't realize there was a whole nother pan star. Was that 4 years later? Oh my god. Forever forward, man.
Remember Leviticus
and then the two witnesses too.
verse 24, on the first day of the 7th month is the Feast of Trumpets, Rosh Hashanah. On the 7th month and the first day, verse 24.
I'm not even going to be ashamed to admit it, man. Like, when I first started talking to the sun and all that, this was when I had tried that crap out for like one time. And it was when I met this guy called the Hawk that could move shit around, and I didn't know what the fuck it was. He just told me it was spice, bro. Like, so I tried it. You know, I haven't done it, obviously, like, since, like, around that time when it first came out. This motherfucker, like, he could literally move shit around with his mind. I'm telling you, that dude was something else, bro. I really wish I had, kept in contact with him or whatever, but, like, I was kind of afraid of him snapping my spine one day. This dude, like, he actually did chiropractic on me, like, caught me and asking him to. I guess he could see my spine with my body or whatever. That dude was on a whole nother level. I ain't gonna lie, when I did that stuff, I could sense his aura, and I was like, "Are you who I think you are?" You know, I don't want to say it, but yeah, he looked like Eddie Murphy too. It was so funny. Reminds me of the Golden Child movie with Eddie Murphy and the actual Golden Child. If I had teamed up with him, man, I don't know why I didn't stay in contact with that person. Definitely ain't nothing but fear, like he said, bro.
Or on the first day of the 7th month is the Feast of Trumpets, Rosh Hashanah. On the 7th month and the first day, the sun is always in the constellation of the woman. The new moon is always sighted in Libra, which is under the feet of the constellation of the woman. Seeing this? That's how Leviticus 23 and Revelation 12 helps us to confirm this. In addition, rabbinical writings have also confirmed this, as it serves as a historical documentation as to how these months were verified by the sighting of the sliver of the new moon in a specific constellation. It's just like hands on a clock. Let's pause right here for a moment. I need to say this. Can you see now how this has nothing to do with astrology? You see this, right? Nothing to do with astrology. It's just as Genesis 1 and verse 14 points out. Just wanted to make that clear. Not astrology, astronomy.
You know, the crazy thing about this, my mom is a Cancer, my brother is a Gemini. I'm a Leo. I've been doing all this crazy stuff and all these months too. And then my grandma's a Leo as well. And then my dad's a Virgo. It's like, it reminds me of, like, you know, like the day they created man on the 5th day or something like that. I don't remember. Not sure if it was the 5th day. But then the 6th day when God rested. You know, and I just think it's interesting how it starts with 4 and then 3, those are strong numbers. And then, like, the Spartan thing. But anyways, let me keep going.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even believe it. The woman that I almost married was a Libra, and the woman I left her for was literally named Ari. Aria. They've been haunting me with that shit. I swear it's like every character in every game is named Ari or Ari or some shit. But anyways, like, because I had to break up with her simply because she wasn't being faithful in a certain way, and I had never broken up with her. And then she was trying to get me to play both of them, but I didn't want to do that. I took that seriously. I could have been with both of them. And then now that I know how it works, women actually are attracted to a man that gets a whole bunch of women. So, like, I probably would have just snowballed from there. But me being a little, I'm a simp for God, man. I ain't a simp for no damn pussy. I'm a simp for God. You know what I mean? That's just how it's always been. I chose God over those women. And, you know, that's probably partly why God blessed me. But I was destined to do it. I already know.
If you can get past that, then you can see how the first few verses of Revelation chapter 12 is describing a celestial event. All right, let's keep going. This is found in Sefer Yetzirah 5 and 2. See, the month of Tishri, the new moon is in the constellation of Libra. In the month of Av, the new moon is in the constellation Leo. Is that the case? on July 29th of this year. Not exactly. The new moon is crossing over in...
It actually is. He's going by Israel. Remember, I messed around with time? Like, he's thinking it's supposed to be on the 29th, and it was on the 29th. It was just over America. He's going by Israel. That's where he messed up. It's only one day.
Into the constellation Leo, as we can see from renewedmoon.com, that the new moon was sighted and confirmed in Israel on the evening of July 30th at a 4% waxing crescent.
You see, confirmed Florida on the 29th. See, because it's about my location and the people of God, the real people of God, and the real Israelites, not these fake ones over in Israel.
And in the U.S. on the evening of July 29th with a 1.
You see, it's exactly when I did this, bro. You see, it's 29. Didn't know I was gonna trigger so much.
1% waxing crescent.
Well, I knew I would, but I
See,
didn't.
the astronomy program was spot on. From the location of Israel on the evening of July 30th, we see at sunset that the moon is in the correct location of Leo. And it...
You see it? My sign. That's how powerful it is, bro.
Could be sighted. So, if Rosh Chodesh...
Ooh, then there's Mercury, too. It could have been symbolic of that planet that went through the sun. But Mercury never does that again, ever. If you look at all the Setchi stuff, and it's not nearly as big. It's got to do... I mean, Mercury's probably like a symbology of it, if anything. The first planets to pop up on that thing were Mercury. I mean, after, besides Earth, were Mercury and Venus.
For the month of Av is the evening of July 30th. Then
it could have been even the moon or something like that went through the sun. You never know. It's like a million different things that are related to it. That could have been Earth. It could have been just simply that object. Like there's a million things going on right there.
The 9th of Av is not sunset August 6th through August 7th, as we see on their calendars. The evening...
It only goes back like... He's wrong, man. He's gonna say it's like the 9th
of August 8th through August 9th would be the 9th of Av.
I'm gonna show you. That's why I got this calendar. It's 31 days, so you count from the 29th. That's 1, 2, and then 7 more days would make 9. So it's the 7th. It's real simple. But he's pulling it back another day, and I already changed it by 1 day. That's enough. This going crazy with it. And basically that's got to do with that comet. That comet basically erased the whole day. Like, that's probably why on the 29th that we had the fastest day in history. There's probably more than just a certain amount of time that was changed. Like, that's real interesting. As I included that in the power too, so maybe a whole day disappeared like in reality, but because of the way we keep track, we don't even know it. It's pretty cool.
If the moon must be sighted in order to declare the head of the month, then we can see how the Hillel too is off by within a couple of days in this instance.
I remember I told you my grandma was on the 9th. Oh, they went from my internet, because literally I was just about to show you all that. But that's pretty good intro. I'm going to show you all the actual events that happened. And
on a clock. Let's pause right here for a moment.
It's really not that much.
Can you see now how...
But I think that's a pretty good intro. And I want to show you some more stuff.
You see this, right?
Yeah, it's astronomy. Like, it's like they got mathematics and all kinds of stuff from just observing the stars and all that kind of stuff. But it's a big difference. Like, that's how the wise men knew Jesus was born. Like, why God said watch these things. Like, watch the seventh day, watch these holy days that echo. It's like the I Ching and all that, like Terrence McKenna's time machine has been accurate, time wave zero. I've already explained that. On to the next part. Oh yeah, it's my birthday. You can say happy birthday. I'm gonna put my PayPal below. You have to show me some love or whatever. And something tells me I'm not gonna get even a penny, but yeah, that's what it's been so far, despite all of this. And I might put my Cash App down there too. I don't know.